The Strong Accept Responsibility today on Fortitude through Stoicism, and this is my 365-day journey of implementing the ancient philosophy of Stoicism into the life of this modern masculine man. Full disclosure, I've already done this video. I happened to delete these videos when I was editing some of my stuff from travel before they got uploaded. So this is a re-record. So probably just going to blow through this one and check the box, just being honest. So I talk about responsibility all the time. I talk about the mindset line all the time. The quote by Marcus Aurelius: if we judge as good and evil the only things in power of our own choice, then there is no room left for blaming gods or being hostile to others. So what is he saying here? Same thing as always, right? As Harry Truman, President Harry Truman, had a sign on his desk that said, "The buck stops here." It's so easy in life for us to, and I'm so guilty of this early on, I blamed my dad for not being around. Blame my mom for not being around. I blame both of them for us being so fucking poor. And so, of course, childhood was not fun. And so I had a lot of anger, blame. And then after my divorce, I blamed my ex-wife, and I had troubles in life. I blamed my combat experience. It's all fucking blame. It's bullshit. My life changed once I took responsibility for my own stuff. And what Harry Truman said is, really, he knew that good or bad. Couldn't blame anyone other than himself, right? He is the captain of the ship. And that's where the chain ended. So I've used the phrase, we are the CEO of our own lives. Hire and fire accordingly. We chart the path of our organization. But if we are the president or the CEO of our own life, knowing that all the powers begin and end with your reasoned choice. Reasoned means we're removing the emotion from the logic, just looking at a thing just as it is, right? So if we don't control things outside that sphere, but we do control the attitude that we have and the responses to those events that we control, isn't that enough? It's enough that we go into each and every day knowing that we're responsible for our own actions, right? And so I've talked about this almost ad nauseum. I've shared my own story, and it really comes down to the decision of either giving away your power or maintaining your power. What do you mean? What do you mean by that, Shawn? Well, here's the thing. If everything that's wrong in my life is someone else's fault, then I have absolutely no power to solve those issues. Because it's my ex-wife, it was my dad, it was my mom. But if you take the responsibility and the ownership of your own stuff and say, yeah, no, I made that decision which led to this. I ate all of those cookies, that's why I'm fucking fat. I drank all of that alcohol, that's why I was an alcoholic. I did this, I spent all that money, I did this. If it's you, the common denominator, if the common denominator is you have the ability to change the equation. Remember, if the common denominator is you have the ability to change the equation. If you're just a bystander, well, then you're along for the ride no matter what. Life's going to suck for you. So that's really the lesson. And these videos are going to be a little bit out of order because I have to re-record some of these that I did overseas. But I had a very spiritual experience, and I've been doing a deep dive now, paralleling Stoicism with Buddhism, and again, there's a level of acceptance in both fields. It's kind of like how we approach it, though. But for our own lives, right? The real day-to-day of our own lives. As soon as we start to looking to others for solutions, it's where we're going to lead to disappointment. It truly is. You know, as a kid, I wanted my dad to spend more time. I wanted this, I wanted that. It was like I was always suffering for wanting these things I couldn't have. And now I accept that, right? But also in learning those lessons, I realized that my emotions are my responsibility. I can't control what someone else does. What I can do is control my response to what they do. That's been the power in this. And that's really my biggest takeaway with the Stoicism is focusing on the fact that, I realize that my father is his own person, my mother was her own person, my ex-wife is her own person, right? I can have a conversation, I can articulate my feelings, my thoughts, my wants, my needs. But ultimately I have to accept their actions as they are. And I have to respond accordingly. That's really the crux of this. That's the biggest takeaway, is the strong person, not the weak person, right? Because now if you're always blaming others, now you're a victim. So are you a victim or are you a victor? Are you going to win in your life? Are you going to win in your situations? Are you going to win in the power over these dilemmas? Or are you a victim and forever someone else is the aggressor? That's the mindset shift. Getting out of that victim mentality, because here's the reality. Nobody's coming to save you. No one is. There's no magic wand. And trust me, if you're broke now, even if you won the lottery, you're going to be broke again. You have a broken money mindset. It's here. Every solution is here, here, here. None of it is out there. That's accepting responsibility. Looking out here for the answers is blaming. Here, looking into here is accepting the responsibility. Here are the answers. So, again, short one. It's a re-record. Did this one in, I want to say Thailand, maybe even the Philippines. I was switching over, but finding parallels, seeing patterns, and I'm seeing the answers. And whether it's eudaimonia in Stoicism or enlightenment in Buddhism, it's really kind of the same thing. It's freedom from the suffering of these things, right? Blaming others is a form of suffering. Accepting who you are, accepting the reality, detaching from that, understanding those emotions, but just letting it go. That's accepting the responsibility. And that's the piece that I'm looking for. And on that, time for the next one.